The intelligence of primates correlates directly with a process called encephalization, specifically the massive evolutionary expansion of the neocortex. If a larger neocortex confers a decisive cognitive advantage, natural selection should theoretically favor continuous, unchecked brain expansion. Yet, human brain growth stalled. If greater volume yields higher intelligence and better survival rates, we have to ask why evolution never produced a 10-kilogram human superbrain. Network topology dictates a hard physical governor on brain size. The connectivity requirements of a scaling neural network create a spatial crisis that eventually outweighs the benefits of adding more neurons. Biological intelligence is bound by rigid mathematical scaling laws that physically prevent infinite cognitive expansion. We can calculate the exact physical threshold where this expansion must stop. The modern human brain is built on a specific, highly optimized structural design. Like any physical structure, it has an unavoidable mathematical breaking point. The primate brain architecture has a strict upper boundary. Expand a brain past approximately 3,500 cubic centimeters, and it will mathematically collapse under the weight of its own wiring. To understand why this cognitive ceiling exists, we first have to deconstruct the biophysics of how neural networks scale. Increasing intelligence requires adding more processing units, the neuronal bodies that make up the brain's gray matter. But adding new processors to a closed physical space introduces a geometric problem. This chart plots tissue volume on the vertical axis against total brain size on the horizontal axis. As processing units expand, the nerve fibers connecting them, the white matter, must also expand to maintain communication across the network. As total brain volume grows, gray matter scales at a linear rate of roughly 0.98. White matter, however, scales at a rate of 1.24. Because the length and number of connections multiply faster than individual neurons, white matter volume aggressively outpaces gray matter as the overall structure gets larger. We can see this dynamic in our own anatomy. The modern human brain boasts a white matter composition between 35 and 40%, which is the highest ratio of any primate. The evolving brain is fighting a losing mathematical war against the spatial demands of its own axonal wiring. The reason behind this white matter explosion lies in the mechanics of network routing. Look at these two network models. On the left is a fully connected architecture where every new neuron must connect directly to all existing neurons. In this scenario, the number of connections roughly equals the number of units squared. As the units scale up, the interconnections multiply exponentially. The resulting mass of wiring quickly overwhelms the space. A fully connected biological brain would rapidly become nearly 100% white matter, leaving zero geometric volume for the actual processing neurons. To survive scaling without imploding, the brain has to radically decrease the fraction of neurons any single neuron communicates with directly. The solution is a small world network topology. The right side shows neurons grouped into dense local connections, linked by a sparse selection of long-range shortcut wires. Physically organized into distinct radial cortical columns, this setup severely limits the absolute number of long-range fibers the brain has to maintain. While clustering preserves white matter volume, it introduces a severe biophysical penalty. The physical distance between clusters creates dangerous delays in signal processing. The brain now faces a new bottleneck, maintaining rapid processing speeds across the expanding physical distances of a growing cortex. To prevent conduction delays, the brain must increase the caliber, or thickness, and myelination of its long-range axons to push signals through faster. These thicker, faster axons cost massive amounts of metabolic energy and physical volume, exacerbating the exact space crisis the network topology was trying to avoid. Evolution devised a mechanical solution to physically shorten these distances without sacrificing surface area: fractal folding. Internal white matter fibers mechanically contract under tension, physically pulling the outer gray matter sheet inward to form deep crevices. Folding is a strict wiring optimization strategy. It literally pulls processing centers closer together in three-dimensional space to minimize conduction delay. Adding more folds to the surface requires shrinking the width of the gyri. This narrowing restricts the gyral window, the hypothetical plane between the gray matter fold and the underlying white matter, through which all connecting fibers must pass. As the brain folds tighter to increase surface area, The gyral window eventually shrinks so much that it can no longer accommodate the necessary volume of axons. This geometric bottleneck physically isolates neurons from the network, causing a decline in integration. These biophysical hacks eventually reach a point of diminishing returns, where the volume required by thicker axons and the mechanical limits of folding create a structural ceiling for the entire organ. By combining these biophysical variables, white matter scaling, network topology, and folding constraints, we can calculate the final capacity of the primate brain architecture. Total brain volume is a zero-sum game, because white matter scales aggressively at a power of 1.24, while gray matter scales at 0.98. Their combined growth eventually outpaces the expansion of the skull itself. Michael Hoffman's model tracks subcortical volume, the space left for the brainstem and diencephalon, as total brain volume increases. The curve hits a peak capacity and then plummets as white matter begins cannibalizing subcortical space just to maintain basic connectivity. The point where subcortical volume is mathematically forced to its peak before it begins to shrink is 3,575 cubic centimeters. For context, the volume of a modern human brain sits here on the rising slope, at approximately 1,400 cubic centimeters. Beyond that 3,500 cubic centimeter threshold, the geometric demand for white matter becomes so extreme that it begins to physically cannibalize subcortical space, breaking the brain's structural integrity. Exceeding that threshold has severe functional consequences. The system would suffer a catastrophic decline in neuronal integration, causing signal response times to plummet. A hypothetical 5-kilogram superbrain would actually be slower and functionally less efficient than the brain you have right now. The modern human brain currently operates at roughly 2/3 of the theoretical maximum processing capacity for any neuron-based system. Human encephalization stopped, not because we became smart enough, but because we are physically brushing up against the absolute limit of biological intelligence.